I made cinnamon rolls today for my girl down in Australia. I have 2 cups of warm milk that I warmed in the microwave for about 90 seconds. You want it as warm as you would warm up a baby bottle. I'm going to add a half a cup of vegetable oil, half a cup of sugar, stir it until the sugar's dissolved. Add 1 packet of dry yeast. Let this sit for about 5 minutes so that the yeast has a chance to activate. The yeast is starting to activate. In the mixer, I have 4 cups of flour. I'm going to add our wet ingredient. I'm just going to mix this just until it comes together. It's not going to take very long. I literally mixed it for less than a minute, and you can see it's a real sticky dough. The dough is going to be sticky at this point, and that's normal. I just covered it with some saran wrap, and we're going to let it sit for 1 hour. It's been an hour since the dough's been rising. I'm going to add half a cup of flour, a teaspoon and a half of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to mix this together really slow. So it doesn't get all over me. Mix it for about a minute. Place the dough on a floured surface, and then we're just going to roll it out into a huge rectangle. This recipe is going to make 12 large cinnamon rolls. I have a half a cup of softened butter, and I'm just going to use my spatula to put a thin layer all the way to the edges. You want every little bit of the dough covered. Once the dough is covered with the butter, take about a cup of sugar and just sprinkle an even coating over the dough. And just sprinkle the top with some cinnamon. Start rolling the dough the long ways into a big long roll. I'm just going to cut off the ends and then portion it by cutting in the middle and then into fourths, and then cut each of the fourths into 3s, and you'll get your 12 rolls. I have a sheet tray lined with a Silpat, and I'm just going to spray it with some cooking spray, and then we're going to start getting these cinnamon rolls placed on there. Kind of push them down a little. There's always like a little cinnamon roll that's not very big, and those end pieces that I cut off when I was portioning it out, I don't really waste them. I just kind of roll them up and use them to make the small cinnamon roll normal size. Cover them with some plastic wrap and let them rise about a half hour, 45 minutes. We covered the cinnamon rolls and let them rest. We're going to get them in the oven. Halfway through the baking process. In my bowl I have 3 cups of confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar, 8 ounces of cream cheese, softened at room temperature, 2 tablespoons of softened butter, teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 cup of milk. This is going to be our icing. The cinnamon rolls just came out of the oven. And I'm going to spoon on the glaze while they're hot. The best cinnamon rolls ever. I've been on a 25-year search for the best cinnamon roll recipe, and in my humble opinion, this one is it. So good. This right here is my favorite bite. Look at that. It's perfect. Yum. I just need a moment.